Welcome to the Burlington Mayor Show for the month of May. Thanks for joining us. We have an exciting show ahead. We're going to be talking about all of the Burlington events that are coming up this summer. We have a very busy summer planned for the downtown and the waterfront. Perhaps a record-breaking year in terms of events, something like 140 events taking place from May until October. This is an effort that we are doing for multiple reasons. I think maybe the biggest thing is it's time to get people together again. It's time to have downtown Burlington and its waterfront fully reopened after 2 very challenging years. We also really want to do everything we can to help the downtown business community, which has been through the ups and downs of the pandemic for the last couple of years. We really want to do everything we can, especially with these emergency resources that we have to help with the economic recovery. We also, as has been a big discussion the last few weeks, saw some public safety issues last summer, some incidents that we want to have a different kind of summer this time. And one thing we know about downtown Burlington is that when it's full and alive and full of positive events, that we see less of those problematic kind of incidents. So here to talk about this exciting summer with me today are two great members of the Burlington Department Head team. We have Cindy White, who is the Director of the Parks, Recreation, and Waterfront Department, and also Kara Al-Nazraoui, who has for several years now, more than 2 years, two and a half years, been the Church Street Marketplace Director and is in process of becoming the director of a new department that she's really been running it for the last couple of years. We're formalizing this in the budget process we're going through right now. We are the business support and workforce development department, and Kara has also had this sort of related hat on for some time now of running our ARPA. All these emergency funds that are coming through the city. Kara's in the leadership role, kind of point person on making that process, everything involved in that work. So thank you both for being here tonight. I know, Kara, you've got a couple slides. Do you want to kind of kick things off with kind of walk us through?
Are these slides going to show? Oh, there we go. Perfect.
I mean, but what you think about it too, what a night to be doing this show. It's like blue sky, sunny, fountains going at City Hall Park. So it's like the great background for talking about all the great events going on in downtown.
It definitely is. Okay, so obviously these are some of the participating departments and parts of the city that are supporting all these events. I won't go through all of these individually, but I will just highlight some of them. A lot of these 140 events are taking place in City Hall Park. A lot of these, thanks to BCA, are just very interesting and diverse. So we've got Splash Dance, which is something geared towards children. We have summer concert series, so when you're having your lunch out there during the day, you have some music to listen to. We have an evening concert series. We have movies in the park. We have local art groups, and we have TED Talk style speeches and discussions in the park, which really we started some of those last summer, and we found that they really bring people in, and people sort of huddle in a circle, and it's a really nice way to exchange ideas. And of course, new this year is our Btv Market. That starts on June 4th, right around the corner for us. That is going to be made up of artists, makers, and small food producers. We are having 50 vendors, rotating vendors, so different ones each week, some repeating, some not, every Saturday from 11 to 3. There will also be family games out there. Think giant size Connect 4. There will be picnic blankets that you can grab and use. We will have live music. We will have other games for children in the fountain, which is obviously like one of our best resources that we have there. And so that is 18 Saturdays in a row. and we're really looking forward to that. And so hoping to have you guys come and join us. I might just forward on a little more.
Why don't we talk about, you're Cindy, totally right. It was a beautiful day downtown, and the park looked great.
Park looked great.
Furniture was out. The grass was just cut. It was like a scene out of a poster today. All sorts of different. I think there was there was a lot of people. I don't know if there was a concert today or what.
I
it
think
seemed like there was something going on.
We're starting to kick off. We were testing our sound equipment this afternoon. Yeah.
I saw groups of lots of little children that were just coming through. So I don't know if they came from the Y or King Street Center. It's just, it's great to see that use of City Hall Park. And one of the things I thought about when I was seeing those groups of toddlers coming through the park was, can you imagine being a leader of that when you have a fountain going that's spraying water on a warm day and you're asking those kids to walk through and not hit the fountain? You wonder how many of them just couldn't they couldn't resist.
Take them right through sometimes.
Sometimes it's a destination.
That's true. It might have been a purposeful with a change of clothes back there.
Stacy, my wife, works at the King Street Center, and they sometimes lead groups just to get to the fountain. Let's talk a little bit more about this Btv Market. Yeah. Really big new initiative. I'm not sure I quite understood. So, some of the vendors will be repeating, some not. Over the course of the 18 Saturdays, how many different vendors do you think will end up having?
Over the course of the 18 Saturdays, I think we're at 120 vendors.
Wow. So it's really something new each week for people to come back for.
It's something new each week. There are some, we made it a flexible model. So if some vendors say, maybe they produce baked goods, let's say, and they can only do that a few times during the summer because of their own personal schedule, they can just book 3 Saturdays during the summer. Nice. We do have some artists and makers who want to be there every Saturday. And as you know, we've had a vibrant artist market in City Hall Park for years, and some of those artists are used to coming every Saturday, so they signed up for the whole season. But we wanted to make it flexible for those who we're using this also as a small business incubator program, so allowing people to test out the market. They may have been producing goods at home and they need an opportunity to access a customer base, the downtown customer base, which they're not used to accessing normally. And this gives them a chance to sort of test their products. We've done some wraparound services, offering them some classes on Zoom to help them learn about merchandising, to help them learn how to market themselves for free on social media. We also have, for the first 100 visitors who come to the market, there's a tote bag. So that'll be there. We'll have some extra additional inflatable seating, which is really fun for families and kids that are going out there.
Inflatable seating.
Yeah, we tried to inflate it today. We had a few struggles with that, but we're working on it. Should be ready by next weekend.
I'm sure it's going to go great.
Yes. And so just to really create, the vending will be happening outwards on the park, and we'll retain the inside of the park for really family picnic.
There's going to be some vendors in the park in the layout I saw,
There
right?
will be some, yes, absolutely.
But a bunch we're closing down St. Paul Street again.
We're closing down St. Paul, and we're just trying to keep, the hardscapes and then also keep flow of pedestrian traffic and all of that clear. But definitely how the park has been set up with, vending on Main and vending on St. Paul and then some in the park.
Great.
How fun. Yeah. Totally picture so I get to have my relaxed Saturday morning.
Yes.
Go down, hit the farmer's market, pick up my veggies that I'm looking for. Of course, all on the bicycle because it's much more fun and it's easier. And then come up for me, and then come up and have lunch.
And then come up and
have some lunch at City Hall
so
Park.
There'll be a variety of prepared foods. We had a committee who reviewed all the applications, and we had a scoring system. And really the goal was to give people, as I said, access to a customer base that they didn't normally have, and to test out their business idea and see where it would go from there.
And you can keep going north, and Saturday is really going to be like market day in the city this summer.
Then
you
come
can check
around
out
the corner here.
the bazaar happening right out outside of this building. Which,
sounds like it's going to be an expensive Saturday for me. In a good way, though. In a good way.
There's good used items. You can get
That's
some
right.
real
There's all kinds. Yeah.
Definitely.
There'll be some great stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Are any of the vendors that were part of the winter market coming back?
There are some that are coming back. Yeah, they had great success. We had vendors in the winter market who sold out of product. And we are looking to expand the winter market again this year slowly. The winter market expands more slowly because we need covered structures because of weather. And that way this is a little easier to handle because of hopefully the good weather, and it's easier for people to bring their wares in and out.
And there's gonna and getting into the fountain is explicitly part of the plan.
Part of the plan. Getting into the
Not
fountain
a requirement.
No, but we're going to have some of that splash dance theme that, BCA has had in the park previously, the live music, and basically the picnic blankets that you can just lay out around the fountain and let the kids get in.
And there's, just I think the reminder too is that there's bathroom on site.
Yes,
We've got the
great reminder.
Portland Loop. But then also, I think sometimes people forget that City Hall is open for bathrooms. You just have to go from the Church Street side to get in.
We're keeping that open on Saturdays as well. So that's a really good point. There's 2 bathroom options right there.
I gotta say, I think the bathrooms. We had lots of complaints about the bathrooms for years. I feel like the bathrooms are being run very well right now.
I definitely think.
Well, we have
Chocolate
Alex
Thunder
is amazing. I mean, we have Alex. We get so many. I had somebody came in today making great comments about Alex, who takes care of City Hall Park 5 days a week, and
Alex
he
is
just
amazing,
does a fantastic job.
So, and definitely those, that Portland Loo has been well used. It's stood the test of time so far.
We're looking to do
cleans
another
up.
one,
We're
right?
looking to do another one. No promises
I
yet,
have
but
rumors.
We'd have to find an appropriate location, but it's been a real success story, and it's really just everyone needs a public restroom. So definitely.
Where is it? Are there other locations we're considering, or it's premature to?
I think it's premature right now.
But we are going to be testing some of those wasted ones too, starting in August. The ones
are
that
you doing
do,
that?
we
Oh,
are.
good.
It's like, have you heard about these ones?
No,
It's
I have no idea what
it is an incubator. It's an incubator. You'll like this one. So it's an incubator program at Hula, which has all those cool incubator programs. And so it is one. It's like a fancy portalette.
Okay.
And so it's not combined to sewer and water, but it separates the urine from solids. And so therefore then they can use the urine, I guess, as like a fertilizer. And so we're going to test some. We're going to be a pilot site for them starting in August. I think we'll probably have one down by Frame.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of a cool little incubator program.
Parks does use a bunch of portalettes.
Because we use a bunch of portalettes in space. So it's one of those ones where that's a space we have a portalette. And so they look a lot nicer.
Okay.
And it's great to help, just a local business, try out a model in, sustainable way.
And they use fewer chemicals or greener chemicals, so the waste can be used to go back into the land. And they've used this model already, and they wanted to use Burlington as sort of one of their first test locations. They had been located in southern Vermont, but they hooked up with Hula and they've moved up here. So Parks is testing them out, and we're hoping that they have this great model where they're almost untippable. They have sort of a modern look to them. You can even wrap them in your logo if you so chose. And they come and service them, and then they have an agreement with landowners for the use of the waste.
Say more about this Listen Up series. Like I feel like that.
So
is this a new thing, or did we do a
we
little
did,
bit of this last year?
I'll tip my hat to Burlington City Arts and Zach Williamson.
Another amazing person.
This is one of his. And it is exactly as it said on the screen. It's TED Talk inspired.
Yeah.
And
So do we know any of the topics?
So I know we've had artists in the past that have spoken about their journey and how they got to where they were. We've also had retired individuals who have come and spoken about their work and the impact they've had on the community and where maybe they see their work going forward after them. And it's a very discussion-based interview sort of model.
Does he use the little stage by City Hall, or where?
It's right in front of BCA generally as we set up, but it's all they have microphones, so it's all audio, so you can sort of sit in the park and listen to the discussion as if you were listening on NPR, essentially. And we've definitely had just some really good responses to that. Yeah.
Great. And so the 140 event statistics, to be clear, that's all City Hall Park events, or does that include some of the other downtown?
That, I think, is all City Hall Park events. And
I was thinking that was everything. So that's
so
just
some of those are obviously there aren't that many days in the summer, but
Yeah.
if we have 2 hours of a DJ out there encouraging children to play in the fountain, which we call splash dance, that's one of our events. We're also having yoga in the park sometimes. So it's that, each of those events adds up. Some events are larger than others, obviously, but
Big one
combined.
coming up. We should plug Jazz Fest coming right up.
My God, yeah, the opening performance at the Flynn is June 3rd, and it will spill out into City Hall Park. We will have stages on Church Street. I believe there's a performance
Waterfront Park?
down at Waterfront Park, a big one. Basically, everything that's outdoors is free.
Yeah.
And we're really happy to welcome them back. So.
The great majority of the events are free, as my
Yeah,
understanding,
yeah.
which hasn't always been the case with Jazz Fest.
Hasn't always been the case. I believe there are some ticketed events in the Flynn, but the outdoor events are free.
Yep.
And this year, on the mall block of the Church Street Marketplace, we're going to be having a series of high school bands associated, like jazz bands associated with the Jazz Fest. So that'll be sort of fun.
Great.
Yeah.
And I heard the waterfront one, I don't remember the name, but I was told is like a big deal.
I've heard
that
it was
we
a big deal,
have.
too.
That it's a
I
really
know.
big deal that this person is going to be down at the waterfront and that it's going to be free. So if you're into jazz, know that someone who's a big deal is coming to the waterfront.
Yeah.
But I'm
You
sure
get
it's on
more
their
specific
website.
information.
Yeah, on their website. Exactly.
So what else do we?
What else do we have here for you? Yeah, I'll give a quick marketplace update, which is the next slide. I don't know if I control the slides here. If we could forward, yep, there we go. Perfect, thank you. So we've sort of revamped a little bit our cart vendor program on the marketplace, again, with the idea that we're using it to incubate, sort of welcoming some new, we have some new immigrant and BIPOC focused carts that were coming to the street, and we definitely have some old hands, which the cart you saw on that picture, which is Skinny Pancake, who got their start in the Church Street Marketplace. And we're trying to set people up with mentors to help them get used to being on the street. Another layer that we've added to our cart vendor program is a minimum attendance requirement, so we can market them on our social media.
That's a good change, Cara. I think the pandemic had a
So
big part.
I hear you like the
Yeah.
falafel, so you'll know which days it's out there.
We'll know when Muzo's going to be there?
Yes, you'll know
Okay.
when he's going to be there. So we're going to have people's schedules, and we'll be able to let people know, which I think will be good for the businesses. And of course, there's weather issues and things like that, but good for the businesses and good for activation for the street. So you know who's there and who's not. And I don't know if you saw, but WCAX just did a piece. We have a new flower cart on the street.
Yes.
Yeah, the bicycle
I
cart.
saw when they were filming that.
Yeah,
Actually. I happened to walk by.
yeah. She's great, and she has sold out of her product every day she's been there.
Is that right?
Yeah, I feel like it's a sign of the times. People want a little happy, and so that's been good. We are going to do some pop-up food vendors in City Hall Park again on that College Street Terrace, and that's going to be grab and go. We had some great Somali food vendors last summer that were a hit, and we had some bakeries selling desserts, and we pair them together. It's all in to-go containers. You can eat in the park, or you can take it home.
How often will that be happening?
So we're
This
working.
is one of my pet projects here.
Yeah,
This is like a department head meeting on TV here. Like, how often, Cara, you have that terrace filled?
I'm going to get that PowerPoint to you.
Should we tell
soon,
Stacy to
sir.
up the food budget, the
Yeah,
dining budget?
I know. We are looking to fill
Lunch in
as
downtown
many
Burlington is-
Thursday, Friday, Saturdays as we can.
But
for
Thursday,
that.
Friday, Saturdays, great.
And we'll hopefully be publishing some of that. And some
We're joking about this, but this is an important what part of the plan for City Hall Park, since we decided to redo it, is that we really want to make it a place that is actively used throughout the week, not just on farmers market Saturdays. you look around. What makes a successful park? Often having food in the park is something that brings people there and keeps it active and vibrant. And that terrace was designed.
The terrace is definitely
somewhat designed with that in mind.
Somewhat designed. We have some utility water issues, but we're working through those. We just increased, for anyone who wants to vend there, we just increased the amps of electricity so you can have more of an ability to cook there a little bit if you need to.
From the practical side, can I say it's been a success in that we have a lot more garbage coming out of that park?
There you go. So that tells you.
Which is like people are coming to the park. They're getting their pizza boxes. They're coming over.
BTV stat.
BTV stat. How much garbage comes out of City Hall Park?
And is it sorted?
And is it sorted? That's right. How did they do in the recycling?
I know. Exactly. So we'll be having those. And for those of you, I'll do a little plug who don't follow Love Burlington. If you use Instagram, it's @LoveBurlington. If you use the internet, it's loveburlington.org. We have event calendars on there. We also have a very descriptive calendar of Btv Market where you can see which vendors are coming which week, which Saturday, and click on them and learn more about what they're selling and where they'll be located so you can find them easily when you're there. Nice. And you'll also be able to see which bands are playing if that interests you.
Love Burlington still has the whole searchable website for the
Love Burlington, thanks
downtown
for
businesses.
the plug. Yes, it's a fully searchable database of small businesses throughout the city, not just downtown. So Old North End, South End, and you can sort by what you're looking for. You can sort by ownership structure. So BIPOC, women owned. You can sort by food, clothing. You can sort whether you want an experience, so whether you're looking for a gallery or something like that. And so that is constantly being updated, and that's always up to date. And now we've added a whole section on the market, so you can search for vendors. So anyway, just a little plug for Love Burlington. If you're looking for, I feel like sometimes it's hard to know the information, and there's so much happening in the city each weekend. It's
a great tool, great additional, something that really was built during the pandemic.
It really was. It came out of a conversation that my team and I had with the business community, one of those large Zooms, when we were in the throes of the pandemic, and people were obviously anxious and really stressed, and their livelihoods depended on things. And people said, the artists have BCA, and the businesses on the marketplace have the Church Street Marketplace, but we need another, a voice for us. And out of that conversation, Love Burlington was born. And we've just had a great response from the small businesses, being really pleased to have just a platform that's amplifying them. We're headed toward 10,000 followers now on Instagram, and people are checking it constantly to see what's new and what where you can go, and things I swear you don't know the city has. You can find them on Love Burlington. I'm always surprised. I don't create the content myself personally, so sometimes
you're like, wow,
when I'm looking at it, I think oh, wow, I didn't know that was there. So yeah, that's how that came about. Also, as we all know, the mall is closed, and in an attempt to sort of program some of that space, as I said, we have the high school bands coming in for the Jazz Fest, and we're also going to have some pop-up live music with games and vendors there on Wednesdays during the summer.
I want to make sure, Cindy, did you want to talk about some rec programs?
Sure, yeah, and I just want to highlight the waterfront's going to be a great, lot of information on City Hall Park, but the waterfront also is going to be really activated this summer, much more than the past 2 years, obviously. Not quite up to 2019, but we're getting there. And I think one of the highlights coming back, is the 3-day Brewer Fest. That's going to be, I would wonder if the tickets are already sold out, because everybody's looking forward to that one. They're doing three. We got three times of that. So, and then of course in the fall with the Antique Boat Society's international event happening down there. But I did want to do a quick.
Deal, right? This is
that's like a worldwide show. Like this is the Antique Boat, and it's kind of, in many ways there's just a little sadness with it. It was like, that was a Bill Truex. That was his baby that he's been working on for years, and here he can't see it come to fruition. But I'm sure the community will take care of Bill's vision, and it'll go off great, and it'll be a really wonderful event for a community in September.
And watching that doesn't know, we're talking Bill Truex, long time Burlingtonian, really kind of an institution in town. Started the Truex Collins, the architecture firm on Battery Street. Really one of the visionaries who created the Church Street Marketplace. Passed away a couple months ago now, and this had been a major project. Lost track how many times Bill had come to talk to me about this. Boat show had to be delayed because of the pandemic, I think, right? So it is, but I think there's going to be I believe there's some memorial events.
Yeah. Just the one thing I want to talk about, we have all these great events going on. I just want to also remind the community that we have an amazing recreation nutrition program. So there's meals, as people are thinking about how to make summer work. We've got the meals program going all summer. And so hopefully that allows people to save up a little bit of money because they've got some lunch provided so they can spend a little extra dollars down at the waterfront or down at City Hall Park or on Church Street Marketplace. So it's going to be a great summer. And again, what a day to do it on when it's like 70 degrees out there, sunny. We're going to have a blast. We're going to have a lot of fun this summer.
It's a lot of money.
That's exactly right. So anyone watching out there trying to think about their summer plans, Burlington is open. There's going to be more happening than ever. We didn't even get to the major events slide. Maybe we'll throw that up as we're wrapping up here. I guess we mentioned a couple of them. We're getting the kickoff really always feels like happens this coming weekend with
the marathon.
It is this weekend.
It
right?
is this weekend.
Memorial Day weekend. The Vermont City Marathon is back at its traditional time for the first time in 3 years on
traditional time, full marathon.
Full marathon. I'm going to be looking forward to kicking it off early Sunday morning. And from there we have the Jazz Fest getting started next week, which we talked a little bit about, but we also, Festival of Fools is coming back. Cara has this crazy new event running with the Bulls.
It's not mine, it's a charity event, but yes.
We're not actually bringing Pamplona Bills here, but it sounds like it should be fun. The boat show, which we did talk a little bit about, Juneteenth coming up in less than a month, has grown from a single day event to now it is really a weekend of events that are taking place around the city and more. So we're down to just our last few seconds here. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back again in June for another edition of the Mayor Show. Any last thoughts you want to leave with for people thinking about the summer?
I think just get outside and have a great summer.
Yeah.
Look forward to seeing everybody out and about.
Those sound like words to summer by. So thank you all for joining us. We'll see you soon.
Thanks.